since we did a live stream, so I thought, why the hell not? Shits and giggles, let's jump back into the way we used to do some things. That's a little bright, but we'll try it this way and see what happens. Somebody let me know you can hear me. I assume you can, but I'd rather you tell me yay or nay if you can hear me or not before I really start talking about all the stuff from the past however many hours that we need to really jump into here. I do have a raging headache, so please forgive me. Sarah says 5x5. You see how blind I am? I literally have to get like this so I can read what's going on. I forgot to undisco ball my face. I know I'm shiny. All right. Here's what I've decided we're going to do from now on. I should have cleaned my glasses also. From now on, I would like to point out my shirt, which I know is backwards because YouTube likes to dick around and put all of my live streams backwards for unknown reasons. I think it's because they hate me, which has been proven lately with the lack of views that the videos get, but also perfectly fine. And I'm making this worse by trying to clean it with my shirt. What I've decided, if you can see my shirt, this is from Grunt Style, and I had to get it because it has a squirrel. And like I said, I know it's backwards, but it says nut up or shut up. And that just feels like the way we need to be in this world right now is either take care of it, do something about it, or shut the hell up. Like, there's so much just complaining and bitching and moaning all over the place. Can you change any? Does like complaining all the time fix anything? No. Am I still going to complain about stuff? Yeah. You know why? Because sometimes it does make me feel better. Same reason y'all are going to complain about stuff sometimes, because it technically makes you feel better just to get it out there. Sometimes you just got to word vomit, right? I would much rather always be positive, but when you turn on the news, when you get on social media and all you're shown is all this stuff that is, you know, not exactly positive, and meant to either terrify you or make you sad or make you angry or make you confused, it's kind of hard to be all like, hey guys, how's it going, right? We're going to try anyway. So we're going to talk about some things today that technically aren't the happiest of topics, but we're going to do it in Squirrel Tribe fashion. So hopefully nobody leaves here feeling like they need to go drink an entire handle of vodka, Kamala Harris, or something like that. I've really just made these 10,000 times worse. That's fine. It'll be what it's going to be. First things first, number one, we should jump into the main reason I decided to do this as a live stream, because y'all, you know how much I love Kamala Harris, whatever the crap her name is supposed to be. Y'all know she's just my favorite person, and I love talking about her and whatever else. She has let out a statement that, her statement on the California governor's race and the fight ahead. And I want you to know that her statement about the California governor race, which she has decided she's not going to run for governor. People are looking at this like, yeah, it's because she knows she's not going to win. It's because she knows she has no chance in hell. No, it's because she knows if she runs for governor for 2026, guess what she can't run for 2028? President. Ladies and gentlemen, she can't run for president in 2028 if she somehow buys her way into a governor position in 2026. It's not that she knows she's not going to win, which I do think she's not going to win. I do think she kind of knows she's not going to win. I feel like maybe at this point in time, California might be trying to pull their head out of their asses and, you know, maybe flip a little more red than blue. But I really, truly believe they're going to try to run her dumbass again in 2028 for president. Maybe they will try to put her as vice president, which would be, I mean, that's like being the manager of just pick a place, the manager of Applebee's, right? And then you suck so bad at it, they demote you to dishwasher, but hey, at least you're still employed, right? I feel like if they try to run her for vice president, that's what it would be like the biggest demotion you could possibly have. You ran for president, and they're like, well, that shit didn't work. Let's put you back as VP, although you sucked at that too. Maybe it'll be a little bit better. And what if they throw AOC in as the presidential nomination? Or, y'all, Gavin Newsom, because Gavin Newsom before with the I never want to be president, I just want to take care of California, which means, you know, run it straight into the ground. I feel like maybe there's a possibility he would run for president. They'd put Kamala, whatever, as vice president, and then, you know, we could just watch the whole world burn, because that's what would happen if somehow they were able to steal that election like the 2021, allegedly. I have to say it because YouTube, they get all up in their panties about it if you say that. But here's what statement from Vice President Kamala Harris came out today, July 30th, 2025. Side note, she's not the current vice president. I feel like they should really specify that because the current one is J.D. Vance and he's amazing. It says here, over the past 6 months, I have spent time reflecting on this moment in our nation's history and the best way for me to continue fighting for the American people and advancing the values and ideals I hold dear, while sipping vodka, I'm sure. I am a devout public servant, and from the earliest days of my career, I have believed that the best way I could make a difference in people's lives and fight for a better future was to improve the system from within. Now, before I finish this, let me just tell you, there is no way in hell this woman wrote this. We have heard her talk. She has never put together an entire sentence that was cohesive or made half a lick of sense. So whoever wrote this for her and then either stamped it for her or signed it for her or auto-penned it for her, she sure as shit did not do this one. But it says, it has been a profound honor to do that work and serve the people of California and our nation as a prosecutor, attorney general, United States senator, and vice president. In recent months, I have given serious thought to asking the people of California for the privilege to serve as their governor. I love this state, its people, and its promise. It is my home. But after deep reflection, I've decided that I will not run for governor in this election. I have extraordinary admiration and respect for those who dedicate their lives to public service to their communities, and to our nation. At the same time, we must recognize that our politics, our government, and our institutions have too often failed the American people, culminating in this moment of crisis. Yes, ma'am, you had a massive hand in that, you and Joe Biden. As we look ahead, we must be willing to pursue change through new methods and fresh thinking, committed to our same values and principles, but not bound by the same playbook. For now, my leadership and public service will not be in elected office. I look forward to getting back out and listening to the American people, helping elect Democrats across the nation who will fight fearlessly, and sharing more details in the months ahead about my own plans. In the United States of America, power must lie with the people, and we, the people, must use our power to fight for freedom, opportunity, fairness, and the dignity of all. I will remain in that fight. Again, there's no way she wrote that. There is no way at all that she even means or understands any of the stuff that was said there, because she's dumber than dirt. We know it. She knows it. I feel like that's how this is all going. So I wanted to bring that to your attention because that happened maybe about an hour ago. God, these are dirty. About an hour ago, that whole thing came out, and we needed to just really quick go ahead and talk about that. I don't know who is going to run for governor in re-election, because unless they were talking about Nicole Shanahan, that's her name, right? The one who was running for VP with RFK Jr. as president when they were for the independents, right? I feel like somebody said she may run for governor. At one point they talked about its face. I still don't know how to call this person. Bruce Jenner, by the name of Caitlyn Jenner, the Jenner, whatever. That person, they said that person was going to run for governor. That's not going to work. I remember when, I think it was Meet Kevin. He's a YouTuber. I think he ran for governor of California. He ran for some part of California, and that did not work out well. So California is pretty much, I don't even know what to tell you. I don't even know what to tell you about California. I feel for the people in California who would rather be anywhere else, but either economically don't have the ability to be anywhere else, or they are stuck there for, family purposes or job purposes or whatever else. It sucks to be in a place where you do not agree with their politics, literally, and you are surrounded by retards who are destroying our country, one protest, burning flag, crying, whatever at a time, which is generally speaking a lot of California. Speaking of shithole states, let's go over to New York real fast, which I used to love New York. Y'all know I have a New York City tattoo right here. My husband's from New York. His family's from New York. My daughter loves New York. I love New York City, like the visuals of it and the fast pace of it. Not anymore. Not anymore. We don't plan on going back anytime soon. It's been since my daughter was 7 when we went. 10. 7? Jeez. Really, Michelle? 7 was when she went to New York, and she's about to be 16. So it's been a very, very long time, and we will not be going back anytime soon. Especially if this Zoran dude ends up like fully winning, right? Jonathan, wishing your mom a speedy recovery. Oh, Jonathan, thank you so much. I actually just took her home earlier today. I drove her car home for her so she wouldn't have to drive, and she is doing good. So thank you very, very much for that. Okay. So this is, you guys know who this guy is. He's the one who's running for mayor in New York City, right? And up against Eric Adams and whoever else, whatever else. And he is a Muslim, which, you know, we're not going to say that all Muslims are bad, but, you know, it has been said, and in a lot of instances proven, that certain religious aspects or certain types of thinking are detrimental to our country's way of life. Okay, let's put it that way, because I don't really know how I can, you know, tiptoe around it for YouTube, because I can't really. It's very hard for me to tiptoe around. I start to tiptoe and then I just stomp the shit out of stuff, so whatever. But this guy here, who's trying to overtake the United States one mayoral whatever at a time, spent forever talking about how they want to defund police, the police are trash, defund them all, and bring in social workers and whatever else in New York City. He wants city-run grocery stores. He wants to make it socialist, basically. He wants to be a socialist and everything else, and he doesn't align with American values. And I know people get pissed off, and by people I mean libtards get pissed off when you say American values, because according to them, American values are like this intermix of whatever else. No, the shit, it's not. American values are, you know, family, guns, and freedom, and all these other things that have defined America since 1776, not what has happened in the last 4 years that they've brought in everybody who's tried to fuck up what America is all about, right? So then you bring in this Zoran Mamdani, whatever the crap name guy, and he says, you know, defund the police. Well, then they had the shooting in Manhattan, the guy, which CNN was like, we're looking for a white guy. Broski was definitely not white. They bring him in, and I say they bring him in. The guy who went through and shot up the Blackstone building on the 33rd floor, walked 3 blocks with a long rifle next to him, made it through security, all that stuff. You want to tell me that just happened to happen? That's interesting. The guy they let in to shoot people and kill people, now he is out here saying that he wants to thank law enforcement for their response to the horrific shooting on Monday and their work in keeping New Yorkers safe. He is the same man who has been talking about defunding police, but now he wants to thank the police. But this is also the same man who is now saying that he wants to go through and New York City mayoral candidate Zoran Mamdani, whatever, is urging and calling for a nationwide ban on assault rifles following the deadly Midtown Manhattan incident. It is always a push for something when these things happen, right? And it's always an assault rifle. I don't see anybody trying to outlaw knives after the white guy went through and stabbed 11 people in a Walmart, and the black man, the citizen who had the ability to legally carry and pulled out his gun and stopped the stabber from leaving. I don't see anybody really talking about, oh, we need to ban knives, pocket knives need to be outlawed, but of course we need to outlaw the assault rifles. But anyway, whatever, the push is the push. But now he wants to ban all these things, and he also wants to make it so that nobody in New York and other places can defend themselves. He wants it to be only the officials or officers or whatever you want to call it have weapons, and no citizens can have a weapon. And I'm like, again, the easiest way to take over something is to disarm the people or make them stupid, make them ignorant, make them unaware of what's going on. I say all the time, it is the Trojan horse, and that all these people that are coming in from outside our borders are Trojan horses. This guy, he's a Trojan horse, in my opinion. I believe he is a Trojan horse. He is there to try to sweet talk and convince people to vote him in, and then to make these changes that make the citizens that voted for him sitting ducks for whatever could possibly happen. It makes no sense to me. And the people that are out there trying to vote for him, saying they're going to vote for him, have got to be the dumbest people walking. I don't like clumping people into categories, although I do it all the time. That's the, little baby hypocrisy in me. I don't like clumping people into categories, but if you fit into a category, scoot, bitch, get in it. Like, that's how it works. And anybody who is voting for this man, they are morons. They are people who do not have brain cells to rub together or think of things for themselves. They parrot everything that they hear and see, and it's very, very unfortunate. They're not going to have an original thought in their mind. And when they vote this man in and he becomes mayor, and then New York City looks like something out of Mad Max, They can't be surprised. They're going to act like it. Oh no, how did we get here? Blame it on Trump. Nah, that was you. You did it to yourself. If you've ever seen Bad Boys 2, where I can't remember his name. He killed somebody, and then his mom comes over the railing and she says, blah, blah, blah. He goes, he killed himself, mama. And that's all I can think of. They do it to themselves. Every time somebody does something stupid, my brain goes, he killed himself, mama. Like, that's what these people are doing. They're voting these people in and then are upset when things go absolutely wrong, right? So then, on top of this, on top of the Zoran whatever dude and Kamala Harris, whatever, not running for governor this election, you have this man here. This man here is a Virginia lawmaker. He's a city councilman. His name is Lee Vogler. This dude, where is his picture? This guy here, they said it's not political. Did I not save his picture? Oh, I guess I didn't save his picture. Batshit crazy looking white dude goes into this guy's office, in his office, with a 5-gallon bucket of gasoline, pours it on the man, and then sets him on fire. So once again, who are you walking past with 5-gallon buckets of gasoline in a building like that, and nobody's going, this feels like something's about to go horrifically wrong. Why does nobody do anything? Like, everybody just stands around, or it's because everybody's in their own space. I feel like so many people are not paying attention to what's going on around them. That's how a guy walks 3 blocks in theory in Manhattan with a rifle next to him and into a building and shoots it up. That's how this person walks into this building with gasoline, sets somebody on fire. Like, people aren't paying attention. They're either here in their phones, right? We're all very, very guilty of that, here in their phones, or so in their own head that they're not paying attention. And you have got to have your head on an effing swivel all the time. You have to pay attention to everything. I know people get mad at me because they think I'm in my car, doors unlocked. No. I am not stupid. These things are locked. And guess what? Loaded. Please understand, I am always locked and loaded. I don't go anywhere without the ability to protect myself because people are batshit crazy. And I park where I park so I can see. I have all my mirrors going everywhere. I can see what's going on through the phone. I can see what's in front of me, behind me. And I park in a way that I know if anybody was coming towards me, I would know before they ever made it here, and I would have the ability and time to protect myself before they could get close enough, right? Because that's what it's all about. But so many people have no effing clue what's going on around them because they've just been, I don't know if the word conditioned to not pay attention, right, is right, but I feel like a lot of people are conditioned to not pay attention. This person who is this jester, people feel comfortable by assuming nothing bad will happen most of the time. I assume something bad will happen all the time. It's a real shitty way to think. I understand that, but it also keeps me from being a victim like other people that I have seen. There are too many people that are way too damn trusting. I told you guys, if you watched the video about my sister-in-law who was so busy trying to get into her phone, she didn't notice the guy that followed her out after he had walked by, in case the fact that her purse was just sitting right next to her on a table. People don't pay attention. I noticed it I noticed everything because I'm always looking around. Maybe it's a trauma response from things in my past that now that's how I look at things and how I think about things. It doesn't mean I wish everybody had a little bit of trauma. If we could all just sprinkle a little trauma into our lives, I think we'd all be a little bit more cognizant of what is going on. But you don't want that for people. You don't want, I like the fact, again, the hypocrisy. I like the fact that sometimes people are ignorant as all get out and don't realize that bad things can happen to them, because that means that bad things haven't happened to them. And I think that's a good thing. Now, there was the whole tsunami stuff, right? You guys saw it yesterday. I'm sure you did. I was reposting it over on X when people were talking about the tsunami. And I was like, this is a big deal. But is it a big deal? Because the last time there was a tsunami thing, everybody lost their minds and whatever. But then you had Hawaii with the tsunami warning, the sirens going off. My brain is all the way back into Lahaina and the fires and everything, right? And Sarah says, commercial coming up as a blank screen for me again. YouTube has been doing some real jacked up stuff lately. Trust me, especially on the back end for creators, we've been seeing a lot of issues. So if there's anything wonky happening here, I promise you, it's not me and it's not on purpose. Blame it on YouTube. It's generally them. But the whole tsunami issue with the earthquake that hit Russia, which I was like, oh really, Russia? Out of all the places? Russia is where it hit, the 8.8, the largest one, the sixth largest one since like forever and ever, that since they've been keeping track of seismic activity, is the sixth largest one, and it just happens to hit Russia right now when President Trump's real pissed off at Russia because they're continuously going after Ukraine, and it's this whole back and forth. I just thought the timing was interesting, right? So you have this 8.8. First it was 8.6, then 8.7, then they said 8.8 earthquake that hits Russia. Then they show this video, which they got that video real quick, like that, right? Like just right like that. They have this video that shows the tsunami possibilities, and it shows from the border of Russia all the way over to the west coast of the United States and down, you know, South America and stuff like that. And Hawaii and Alaska were gonna get like a massive brunt of it. And so they start sending out all these warnings for the tsunami. Japan, they said, got hit with it. They say this video is, please hold. That's volume. They say this video is from the tsunami. I cannot confirm nor deny. One, I don't speak or read Japanese, so there's that. But they're saying that this is from the tsunami that hit Japan from the earthquake in Russia yesterday. And it's showing that, you know, there's a little bit of water, and then the next thing you know, here comes like the top of the house, and there's all kinds of stuff. It pushes the car. They're trying to figure out what to do. And I can see this being a legit thing. And so then I'm wondering, is this what's going to happen to Hawaii? Is this what's going on in Alaska? What about California and Oregon and other places like that? That's that. And then of course your mind goes back to Texas and the floods they just had there, that again, natural or whatever else. And it makes you wonder how much of this is natural occurrence and how much of this is manufactured occurrence, because we know, right? We know that they can make the weather. We know they can make lightning. We know you can make a earthquake. Remember the Metallica concert, North Carolina? Somebody in here knows what I'm talking about. Maybe it wasn't North Carolina. It was at a college, right? And Metallica was performing, and they said it got so rowdy in there that it actually, it picked up on the seismic activity as a mini earthquake because of how, like, how much movement there was. So we know they can do absolutely everything. So then they're putting out all of these warnings for the people of Hawaii, and they're like, hey, listen, if you're in the area, you need to get to the 4th floor or above. If you're on the ground floor, you need to evacuate. But then of course in Hawaii, it's pretty much gridlock no matter where you go, whether it's California, Hawaii, Alaska. It's going to be very hard to move around. Then it comes out, they're saying that, well, people could get to higher ground, but they can't because in Maui, Oprah owns the roads there. So there's a video of the police blocking this road that goes through Oprah Winfrey's property. This is what they're saying. That goes through Oprah Winfrey's property, and that was the road that would take people to higher ground, so that if this tsunami were to hit, these people, husbands, wives, children, mothers, fathers, children, single people, whatever, could make it to higher ground because her land is on higher ground. And Oprah was like, no, you can't use my road. No, you can't use my land. That's what's being pushed around all over social media. Here's the thing. I don't like Oprah. I think she's a see you next Tuesday, right? But I also don't know that any of this is factual. And this is one of those things that we've talked about numerous times. I have a tendency, in case you have not noticed, to get in my feelings about things and then, you know, run at the mouth with my opinions and my thoughts on things. And I'm trying to better myself on certain topics. But when it comes to this one, I can't say what Oprah did or did not do. And I know that I should, for the audience and for the algorithm and for the whatever, I should sit here and just drag Oprah's ass and talk about how trashy she is and whatever else, because that's going to get the views and that's going to whatever else. I don't want to. Yes, she sucks, but I don't even know if she had any effing clue what was going on in Maui. She wasn't there. I have no idea if she even knew that there was people trying to use her road. Maybe by the time it got to her, she was like, oh yeah, like the first time they asked, she was like, yeah, you can open it up, let people go. I have absolutely no clue, but it's so much easier for everybody to jump on the bandwagon of, you know, I can't believe she wasn't letting people. She can't let him if she doesn't know about it, right? I can't believe that this happened. Well, nobody knew about it. How would it not happen? So somebody said, read it in an article. Yeah, so did I. Who the hell wrote the article? Who knew for a fact what was going on? It's all over social media, but where's the factualness behind it? And that's what bothers me. The earthquake, was it a real one? The tsunami, Do we have any fact leading up to it that this is going to happen, or are we just scaring the shit out of people for no apparent reason? Like, I have to now question everything, especially because of the fact that now that we have AI out there really, really pushing stuff, it makes it so much harder to determine real versus fake, whether it's an article, it's a video, it's an audio recording, because they have all these things out now where you can dub somebody's voice. They could take my video and make it look like I'm speaking in French or German or whatever else, and nobody would know that I was not actually speaking in French or German. They could take my words and change them completely and make my mouth match it. The things that we can do now, you're supposed to go, man, this is great. My brain goes, man, this is fucking scary, because you just never know what is real and what is not anymore, which is, you know, it's always going to be terrifying to me. So when I see these videos and everybody's on social media saying the exact same thing, like parroting each other over and over and over, my brain goes, I don't want to talk about this. If everybody and their mama is saying the exact same thing over and over and over, I do not want to jump on this parrot bandwagon just because they said it if I can't prove it. Like, there's very few things that I can prove about what we have seen and what we have talked about. I can't prove in East Palestine, Ohio, that it was all done on purpose, but I can prove the timeline of events and who actually called for the cars to be set on fire and everything else. I can prove all of that. Everything else is my thoughts and opinions based off the things I can prove. Now, we can prove that there was some sort of earthquake, natural or not, no proof. We can prove there was an earthquake, and we can prove that there were some higher waters that were going to hit. But everything else in the middle is speculation. Every single thing is speculation. That video I just showed you, it said it's from the tsunami. It could be from 15 years ago. You just never know. So we have to be very, very careful about what we consume as factual stuff, right? Because you just never know what is real and what is being pushed to have us thinking a certain kind of way. I know y'all understand, not everybody's going to agree with me or like the things I say. Perfectly fine. If we all agreed with each other, it'd be a very boring world. I've said that numerous times. And a lot of stuff is my opinion, and I am entitled to my opinion just as you are entitled to your opinion. I will change my opinion if new facts come along to prove that my opinion is not a correct opinion, and then I will change my opinion to go with the facts of things, right? But until then, my opinion stays my opinion. And the amount of push for this tsunami issue stuff last night was off the charts. And then I wake up this morning, freaking crickets. There was nothing. I could not find anything anywhere about the tsunami. And I'm like, is Hawaii underwater? What's happening? What happened to Alaska? Hello, California. What's going on? Nobody's talking about it. Instead, it's, you know, Jerome Powell in the Fed, and he's keeping the rates the same and all this other stuff. And it's like, what? We are so pushed into this constant state of panic, this constant state of fear, this constant state of whatever, and then they take it all away and move something else in to give you a completely different feeling. It's absolutely ridiculous to me how the things are going. So Amy says waves on the West Coast are only 3 to 4 feet, which is normal. And that's what I thought. I'm like, 3 to 4 feet is normal. Somebody posted up a video over on X, and they were like, oh my gosh, look at the way wherever it is on the very, very front is retreating. It's retreating into the ocean. It was like a foot. Even I know that that's not a big deal. That's not some sort of tsunami that's going to come through and knock down buildings and destroy cities and whatever else. And then in the middle of all of this, you know, screaming from the rooftops about how everybody needs to evacuate, nothing really happened. And they're like, they called off the tsunami warning. Now, I want to go, it's better to be safe than sorry, right? Better to leave than to stay and something bad have happened. But my brain always goes, what did they do when you left? What did they do when we were all indoors for 2 weeks? Were they convinced the entire world to quarantine at the same time? What did they do those 2 weeks that we didn't see because we're all inside? Those are always my questions. I have a... Look, I said in a video yesterday or the day before, I said I have a high distrust of, and I named a specific something, and the person came back and said, I've watched your videos a couple times and you don't trust anyone. That's pretty damn accurate. I'm pretty sure that's pretty damn accurate, because there have been too many, I don't want to say people, but instances of things, right, that teach you not to trust, right? And so what is it? Trust but verify? Or I would rather verify than trust. I don't want to trust first. I want to verify, then I'll trust, because there have been too many reasons not to trust given to us over the last 4 years specifically. Even now, right? Even now in Trump era, there are still things going on where you're like, wait a second, like, but we were told this and now there's this and whatever else. It is all the world is a stage and we are merely players. Is that how it goes? I feel like I got it right for once. All the world is stage and we are merely players. I feel like that's right. I hope that's right, because I'm real proud of myself. If it's wrong, I'm still slightly proud of myself for kind of sort of getting it. Green tea, not beer. Okay, so there was that whole thing, right? With the whole tsunami and everything else. And then, where is this? Yeah, so this is video of people like going off-road, trying to get through the traffic in, I think this is Maui, maybe it's Oahu or wherever, trying to get through the traffic to get out. And then again, it just goes away. This was, okay, so a health ranger over on X posted this, and this is what my thought was. So I want you guys to see, oh, these things are absolutely ridiculous. So this is the picture that I saw yesterday, right? One of these came out, and it says, does anybody else wonder if this might be a weapon-enhanced earthquake targeting Russia? Which I'd already thought of. I was like, the location, the timing, very interesting. And it says, we know the U.S. possesses weapons that can initiate quakes where fault lines are already on the threshold. But this is such a powerful quake, 8.7 reportedly at the time, that a weapon initiation might be outside the realm of what's possible with current military technology. Still, we should consider the possibility, as Trump and Senator Lindsey Graham, have been repeatedly threatening Russia recently. But if the U.S. plays games like this, Russia has its own secret weapons too. A very dangerous escalation path if this was artificially induced in any way. Most geologists, however, would say this quake is a natural event. What do you guys think? And I like those kind of questions, right? I like the questions that make you think about it, even if you're thinking about it in a negative standpoint of, oh, you know, our government did this, or no, they didn't, it is natural, instead of just always eating what is being spoon-fed to us, right? So we do know that they have the ability to do all kinds of things, and it's just, like I said, the timing. Now, the other thing that I saw, and again, this is why I say you have to take every single thing with a grain of salt, or give it 24 to 48 hours. What is it y'all told me? Dan Bongino said, give everything 72 hours before you talk or before you say something. A little harder for me to do, because, you know, I'm a reactionist. I react very quickly, very easily. But this came out, Raw's Alerts, which I follow over on X, posted this 21 hours ago. And it says, the New York Times is reporting that a massive asteroid is on a potential collision course with the moon, which could trigger a destructive meteor shower on Earth. Now, it now has a community note. It says, this is missing some context in terms of a date. This would be in 2032 if this even happens. So these are the kind of things that I talk about and that I try to warn you guys about. I call these to me are clickbait. These to me are designed to terrify you immediately, pull you in, and have you just turning around and repeating it. I could have turned around and go, oh no, there's an asteroid on collision course with the moon, and there's going to be a destructive meteor shower on Earth. And then you're thinking it's going to happen tomorrow. So you're going out there and living your last 24 hours terrified as shit, right? And then it turns out, well, if let's go ahead and capitalize IF, it happens, it'll be 2032. So you got like 7 years to be a little scared. It kind of takes the terror level down just a little bit, right? And then it comes out later and they're like, well, I mean, meteor shower. It's gonna be like a meteor or two, and it's gonna hit into the ocean, and they're small, and it's not gonna cause a tsunami, and everything's fine. But nobody tells you that stuff because it's easier to keep people effing terrified of life in general than it is to say, listen, anything could happen. And anything could happen. Dinosaurs didn't have a heads up. If you believe in dinosaurs, I know a lot of people don't, weirdly, but if you believe in dinosaurs, they didn't have a heads up on the meteor that, you know, did everything, and we're never gonna know. I don't think we're gonna have a heads up on anything that's gonna happen to us. If the world is ending, it will just end, and just like it started, it just was there, and then when it's done, it'll just be gone. That's how I feel about it. That's me though. That's my personal thought on that. The other one that came up now, this is the newest one I'd like to share with you. Oh, come here. Where are you? We're going to talk about a couple things, but where is the one? We were going to talk about Sydney Sweeney and this whole American Eagle ad, but it's so effing stupid that I can't even bring myself to give half a shit about it. Where are you? Okay. Breaking. Okay. Now, this is from Hustle Bitch, so I take everything from there with a grain of salt. But this is an actual article-ish that came out from the New York Post. A little bit of article, a little bit of over-exaggeration on Hustle Bitch's part. But it says, breaking, 7-mile alien craft locked on Earth. 94 days until it disappears behind the sun. We're going to read it, okay? It's the size of Manhattan, moving at 130,000 plus miles per hour and showing non-gravitational acceleration with no cometary outgassing, meaning no comets, okay? Harvard astrophysicist Avi Leob, what the crap with these names, warns it might be on a reconnaissance mission. This is a blind date from another star. We shouldn't assume anything. Those are the quotes from the article. One of the most puzzling signs, this thing is accelerating in ways that defy physics and it's not acting like a comet. We've got 94 days before it vanishes behind the sun. What the hell is heading towards us? So now we got to worry about freaking aliens. And my brain goes straight to Independence Day. Obviously, that's where your brain should go as well if we're going to think about aliens. Not the one with Sigourney Weaver where they pop out of your stomach, because that's terrifying. But let's go ahead and think of Independence Day. And let's hope that we have a lot of Will Smiths back in the day who are going to fight for us and whatever else if there's a alien. Elizabeth, thank you very much for that. If there's an alien that is 94 days away from being behind the sun. So we got to worry about an alien spacecraft that from where it's at, they can clock that it's 7 miles wide, which is interesting that they can see that far, and that they can track it at 130,000 plus miles per hour. I didn't know anything could tell you how fast something was going like that far. Interesting. And they know that in 94 days, even though it's going faster or slower and whatever else, they've tracked it 94 days, it's going to go behind the sun. So we have to worry about that. But then in 7 years, there's a possible meteor shower because something's going to hit the moon. And then those things are going to happen. But then, now we got to worry about tsunamis. And then, geez, like, what are we doing here? It's a lot. It's a lot. The alien thing to me is probably the dumbest of them all. That's me. Do I think there's other things out there? Probably. Do I care? No. Honestly, no. And if that's the case, us trying to go to Mars and us trying to go to all these other places probably pissing off whatever's out there. How about we just stay our little asses on our little planet where we belong and do nothing else? I mean, it's not like we ever actually went to the moon. I'm just saying. You're going to tell me that in 1954 you could live stream from the moon, but you were still on corded telephones, and you didn't have cell phones, and you didn't have digital cameras like that, and you didn't have all these other stuff, but you could live stream from the moon? That feels a little no. It feels a little no. That's just me. Plus, it helps that my dad worked at NASA and told me that shit did not happen, so I'm gonna go with that as well. Insider information there, I guess. But either way, I don't believe any of this stuff, but I just wanted to tell it to you because you're gonna hear it, and I want to give it to you in the sense of, please don't let this stuff affect your daily life. Please don't let this stuff affect your daily life, because the problem is there's gonna be people out there that you trust. They're gonna start screaming to you about how incredibly important this is and how you need to go out and buy whatever it is that they're selling that's going to keep you safe when the meteor hits. Buy whatever it is they're selling that's going to keep you safe when the aliens get here. Buy whatever they're selling when the nuclear bombs drop. No, nothing's going to help you. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Live your effing life and enjoy it. That's how I feel about this. If we consistently are worried about something and are afraid to ever step out of our house, afraid to do anything in life because of the what ifs, you're going to live a very boring, unhappy, pissy life. And who wants that? You only get one of them. According to, people, you only get one, right? And if you spend that one consumed with fear or anxiety or whatever over things that you have literally no control over, you're going to die from a heart attack before you ever get to live a full, long, natural life. Like, hello, you can't do it. You can't do it. I love you guys. That's why I say these things. I know I'm not exactly the most calm person you've ever seen. I know that, and I'm fully aware of that. Just fix the drippy faucet. That's something that is worth doing. Marvin, yes, if the faucet's dripping, fix it. If the faucet is, I don't even know where to go with that. I was going to try to find something funny, but I got nothing. My brain, it's fine. Either way, you can't let all of this stuff consume you, and it's too much. It's too much. Save your money. We're headed for a recession. No, we're not. No, the fuck we're not. No, we're not. I love y'all. No, we're not. If you only pay attention to the people on social media that are telling you the sky is falling, they're the Chicken Littles, you're gonna live in that constant state of fear and thinking that everything is awful. No, it's not. I live where I live, and I can literally just walk out my door, put down my phone, put down the computer, turn off social media, and walk out the door, and everything is perfectly fucking fine. I went to Walmart. Our 60 pack eggs that were $29 while Biden was in office are back down to $9. You know, we are perfectly fine. Jose, fuck off, dude. Like, what are you? Hide user on channel. Go away. The problem is we have become so... And I say we because I am part of it. I am not any different than any of y'all. 100% we are the same. We are not any different from each other. Just some days I get fed up with being, oh, y'all can get mad at the word. It's not on purpose. Gullible. I am gullible sometimes, and I get mad at myself for it. If I were to sit here and say that nobody can afford to live, that's a straight up lie. You can look out the doors and see plenty of people who are living just fine. They have no idea that there's other people out there that aren't living just fine. But a lot of times we as people focus on the things that bother us the most and consume that kind of material, I guess is the right word to use, as opposed to focus on the things that we love and consume that. Because if you did that, your mind would be a happier place. You would be more productive in certain ways, shapes, or forms, right? But we are so, I don't know the right word. We are so drawn to the negative that a lot of us land there and then stay there. And then we're upset with our life, not realizing that you can change pretty much almost everything about your life. Obviously, you can't change certain things. I'm not going to change my skin color. I'm not Michael Jackson. I'm not going to change how tall I am. I'm not going to change that I'm a woman, because that's the, you know, whatever. But there are some things you can change. If you don't like your weight, go on a diet, eat better. If you don't like your hair, cut it. If you don't like the color of it, dye it. If you don't like the way your mind is, rework your mind to think differently. Like, that's all you have to do. And it's easier said than done when you're constantly watching things that are convincing you it can't be done, right? When you are watching the people who have the terrifying titles of the world is ending, and so you click on it to get confirmation that the world is ending, even though, look out your door, the world's not fucking ending. It affects the way you live your life. It affects the way you treat yourself. It affects the way you treat people around you. It affects the way your health is. It affects absolutely everything, right? And it's crazy. When somebody said castle of toilet paper is made here in the United States of America, yet somehow in 2022 people here were convinced that toilet paper was going to be gone because of the shipping issues and the ports. It didn't come from anywhere but inside the country. People were going out and hoarding the shit out of toilet paper, buying it, and then selling it on friggin' eBay and Amazon and whatever else. Why? Like, I don't understand the oh, I hate saying it because I feel like such an ass when I do it, but the gullibility, don't even know if that's a word, of people. But again, I know it comes down a lot of times because you trust what you're hearing, which is why I say verify before trust. Like, that's the problem, man. all of this stuff that has been on X and social media and YouTube and stuff in general in the last however long, I'm like, why are we trying to scare the crap out of people again? Marvin says, would you dare use toilet paper from China? Not on purpose. Not on purpose, but so much of our stuff is from China and we don't realize until it's too late that you're like, well, like your medications, they're from China. That part sucks. Hopefully, with the way Trump is doing things, we'll have more of those made here in the U.S. and less imported, because that scares me more than anything, honestly. But then, okay, so like this, I just think this one's funny. And it's not funny, but it amused me. The people who make Celsius, you know those energy drinks? The people who make Celsius also make High Noon, which is a vodka drink, which is alcohol, okay? And they package them in the same place. Not quite sure why, but they package them in the same place. And so now they are recalling Celsius drinks. These things, if you haven't seen them, they're recalling these because they're filled with High Noon drinks, which is a vodka seltzer. So can you imagine your 13-year-old going out to, you know, a Quick Trip or a Circle K or a Buc-ee's or whatever, getting a Celsius, chugging it to get some caffeine, and the next thing you know, they got a little baby buzz going on because they just had a vodka seltzer identifying as a Celsius. Like, this is the most trans liquid I've ever seen in my entire life. A Celsius, a High Noon identifying as a Celsius. That's not okay. So now they've got this massive recall on Celsius energy drinks, and it's not going to be a very good look for them. Celsius, I think, is absolute trash. I don't do Celsius. I don't do Alani. My husband drinks Alani. I don't drink Monsters. My kid has had Monsters before, and I'm like, listen, drink a green tea and you'll be fine. Drink some coffee without all that extra added shit in it and you'll be fine. Either way, anyway. I'll be okay. But I just think we see all these recalls all the time of foods for this and foods for that. This is probably the first time I've seen an energy drink be recalled because it's masquerading itself as an energy drink when it's really alcohol. Also, it's probably cheaper than a High Noon. So what if you bought a Celsius and you're like, yes, I got a free vodka drink. I guess that's a plus too, right? Anyway, let me see what else there was that I wanted to mention to you, because there was something else and I can't remember what it was. No, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I'm not going to talk about Sydney Sweeney because I don't give half a shit about Sydney Sweeney. Oh, so this is Sharon Osbourne and Jack Osbourne and what's her name? What's her name? What's the daughter's name? I can never remember her name. I don't remember her name. I just know she used to have purple hair and was 3 times her size before she decided to go on the juice, even though she claims she's not on it. Kelly, thank you. This is at Ozzy's funeral. And I understand that there's this whole big thing so that fans and whatever can witness it, but I don't understand why you would make such a heart-wrenching moment in your life something that you want to be publicized. Why would you want publicity off of that? I don't like that. That's me personally. I understand doing this for the fans, but I think that personally that there should have been like a whole fan tribute that didn't involve the family. But I guess Sharon did it because of how Ozzy and their family, because they had that TV show, really affected a lot of people. So I can understand it, but for me, I don't think I could do it. If my husband, if something happened to him and he was no longer with us and I had to go to his funeral and all these people had to stand there and watch me just lose every bit of my self-composure, I don't think I would like to be part of that, right? Like that, but that's me. But it is a sad moment for a lot of people. A lot of people have talked about how watching, seeing or hearing about Ozzy passing away was huge for them because they grew up with Ozzy, right? Anyway, let me see one more and then I'm gonna let you guys go. We've already talked about how Jerome Powell is leaving the rates unchanged at 4.5, even though we have very great economic numbers. Trump clearly would like to just bop him over the back of the head because whatever. Oh, this is the last one, then I'm gonna let you guys go. Congress just passed the Pelosi Act, legislation that would ban stock trading by members of Congress. It passed out of like a really narrow number. They said 8-7 vote, but I love the fact they named it the Pelosi Act, because here's the question: how does Nancy Pelosi afford a $50 million anything? I just want to know. what is she, what am I doing wrong? Should I have been in Congress? Do I need to have some political position? Is that how you become a millionaire? Is through politics? Because that's the one place you should never be able to become a millionaire while you're in that position. Now afterwards, if you're writing some books and doing some stuff and some press, whatever, afterwards and getting paid, that's different. You're no longer part of that. You're not a senator, a governor, a whatever, a president, whatever. The fact that this woman has bukus of money, I don't trust it and I don't like it. Do not trust it, do not like it. This is the last one, and I don't know if this is real or not. And I'm only showing you because it grosses me out, so I thought I'd share. This is Tom Cruise and Anna de Armitage, or however you say her name. At one point, I think she dated Ben Affleck also. She's 37, Tom Cruise is 63. Blech. My thought, my personal thought. Blech. Blech. Like, that's my thought. That's all. The worst one, though, for me right now is Anthony Kiedis, who is the lead singer of Red Hot Chili Peppers. When he had long hair, I was all about him. I was in love with Anthony Kiedis. But now Anthony Kiedis is in his 60s and his girlfriend is 19. And it's the most disgusting thing in the history of the world. And I can no longer listen to Red Hot Chili Peppers because he's a pedophile. Technically, that's not the right word because she's over 18, but it's disgusting. And I will always view it as pedophilia. So that's all I got. I love y'all. I will let you get on with your day. And we'll do some more stuff later. Probably is like a upload, not a live stream, but we haven't been live in a while, like I said, and I just wanted to have the conversation with y'all. So thank you for being here with the conversation. I appreciate you. I love you immensely. Y'all know this. And the few little twats that ended up in the live stream, thanks for, either getting rid of them or ignoring them, because, sometimes people just suck and they want to crap in the middle of the room for no reason. Anyway, that's it. I love you guys, and I will see you again later. Have a fabulous rest of your... It's hump day. It's hump day, my dudes. Go hump it out. End the day on a bang. And I will see you guys again later on. Okay? Bye-bye.